even after they have been kicked out, killed, removed, let's say, from the country, their graves are being treated with such disrespect, um, which is just really heartbreaking. And how sweet of this young boy to see that and think, maybe I can do something about that. And talk to the right people and put the right things in place in order to honor these people that had, not been laid to rest respectfully. And it just speaks so much to his character and how, if we want to make a change in the world, if we don't like the way that something looks or the way that something is done, there are ways to make change for the better and to do something about it. And I think that it's always easy to say, well, I hope somebody does something about that, but like, why not you? And that's what I really took away from this, is that we can be the change that we want to see in the world.
I like how they separate the short into 3 acts with the text on screen. This makes it very easy to comprehend and very easy to follow along with all the information. I also like the text on screen overall because the short is quite information heavy and there is only a limited amount of time, and so the texts are very helpful. I like the historical information we are given because I think it's important information to get us to set us up with our main character. Having the sort of voice of God narration is quite unique because usually the main character or the subject in the talking heads explains and narrates everything. I think this might be because the main character is so young, so probably they wanted to protect him in some way. Um, I think that it's quite profound to have the topic and themes tackled and the perspectives from this young boy. I think it definitely shows a level of maturity from him and how important it is for him to ask these questions and for us to also ask these questions, but also shows the empathy of the boy and even begs the question as to why the locals don't have this level of empathy and why they don't find issues with the state of treatment of the Jews in their resting place.
Meeting this young man, Zenadine, was inspirational. He arrives at a cemetery, an Islamic community cemetery, and realizes that the headstones of a much older Jewish community from years and years ago has become overgrown, and he wants to fix this up. He spoke of how this was a step in the right direction for crushing oppression and an outward sign or a signal that young people today care about history and learn lessons from it. I thought it was so touching when he said that his father was supportive. His father was proud.
It's quite astounding. And Zinedine, just to see him and his determination with him and his family doing all this work to restore a gravesite of, like the film says, to restore a gravesite of people he didn't even know was quite astounding. You know, what a lot of heart this kid has, you know. And he's so young and he's doing these kind of things. What's he going to be doing as he gets older? And just think of all the things he's going to accomplish in his life. It's pretty wonderful. So this is terrifically well-made film. It's wonderfully directed and edited and photographed. The interviews are done very nicely. Zinedine was great on camera, communicating his passion. And it's wonderful that there are young people like him in the world that have this sort of passion that want to do these type of things to help people in the world. Completely altruistic.
I love that his goal is harmony among the different, faiths and religions. It's a huge goal, and I really hope that more people get on board with him, because it's ridiculous that everybody in their own faith preaches love, but they all shut each other out. Maybe not all of them, but I'm generalizing a little bit here. I really liked how this was set up in Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, And I loved the fact that all of this was very easy to follow. There was a setup in the beginning. He introduced himself. He told me what he was basically told the audience what who he was and what he was doing. And if that wasn't clear, then Act One with the history set that up really, really well. Act Two, the discovery of the tombstones and revitalizing them. And Act Three, the restoration. I just thought this was set up really well. Really liked the script. Really nice, subtle music and lighting.
So this Jew community in Pakistan, once used to be more than 3,000 people, and it has been completely razed by the 90s. And then we see this young teenager who's trying to bring their story back. You know, is trying to connect everything together, everything that's left of this community in Pakistan, and give them and give them what they should have. You know, like um, the right amount of attention they deserve after being basically eliminated by the country so many years ago. And all this comes from a young teenager. I think it was very powerful, and the documentary itself, the way it is shot and directed and is told, is very, very interesting and very compelling.
Legacy and death. It's a very morbid way to phrase it, but you know, it really gives you perspective of what happens after you die. Um, where it's a story about this graveyard that's just been neglected beyond disrepair, and so you have this history of all of these people that is just slowly being forgotten over time because no one cares enough to restore it. It's a very uncomfortable message, but uh, I do like the spin that this documentary did, where they did take the time and effort to restore this graveyard and you know, prove that message wrong, because it's such a messed up way to end things.